This leader is provided to facilitate adjustment of focus. Please be aware there are spoilers contained in this video presentation.
You're the beast around, and nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the beast around, nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the beast around, nothing's ever gonna keep you down.
Okay, so Beauty and the Beast was released in 1991. It was directed by Gary Truesdale and Kirk Wise. It won Best Music Original Score and was nominated for Best Picture, Sound, Music for Belle Song, and Music for Be Our Guest. For the Golden Globes, it won Best Original Score, Best Song for Beauty and the Beast, and Best Picture. This was the film that got Best Animated Film on the list of things that became category in the Oscars.
The Little Mermaid really kind of, everyone was like, oh wow, that was really well done. And this is the one where they went, okay, like we really got it.
Aladdin came out too.
Well, Aladdin was right after this. I went to Disney College right after this came out. So the way this all broke down was there was Little Mermaid, Roger Rabbit, and then this, Aladdin, Lion King, Pocahontas, Toy Story, Mulan, Bug's Life, Tarzan. And that's kind of the Michael Eisner kicking ass and taking names, like before he lost his mojo.
Speaking of you going away to the Disney College thing, I remember that videotape that you had of Work in Progress edition where it cut to stills and line drawings, and oh man, that was boss.
The thing about that version was it was powerful in its own way, and like to really see how the artist rendering storyboards, that story still moved along, even though it was just a storyboard or the rough animation, it still was stirring.
Bonjour! 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 One of the things that I was really surprised about is where they would push in and you would still see that kind of almost like in After Effects where you move the camera in and you have your physical layers and you move it through it. I think it's because it was in that kind of that area between full computer animation.
I think they use CGI in it too.
The ballroom scene was CGI, but
does this mean ballroom?
Ballroom? Yeah, it's a ball. If you go to the Disney building, they've got one of the racks. You do the foreground, and then like there's another cell for the middle ground, and then background's another cell, and like you can have all these different levels of cell animation that you can do, and then you can push in through that. So
I was really amazed at how good that feeling was, like the initial pushing in on the castle, where like it really gave you that hand-drawn feeling. Can I say that's the worst bookseller ever? So she comes and borrows books, and then when she says she really likes one, then you just give it to her.
If you like it all that much, it's yours.
But sir,
I insist.
Well, thank you.
At that period in time, a book, that wasn't like a little thing. Like you didn't loan people books. Like there weren't.
I mean, that
libraries.
was like more of a high class.
That's like
only the rich people had books and stuff. So
like because they were expensive to make, they were pretty rare.
But if they were cheap enough that you would let a sheep chew on them.
But the Gaston character is so great. He is a villain that you can really get behind.
Don't I deserve the best?
It was kind of a stark difference where from like say Little Mermaid, it's like Ursula, and then you have Jafar was like kind of the sorcerer, but this was he was just a regular dude. He was just like yoked out.
He was a bro.
He was a bro.
As you see, I've got biceps to spare.
I like my beer and I like my women. And
have you guys seen the clip of the guy in the Iron Man shirt that is trying to like punk the guy that's playing Jafar and challenges him to a push-up?
Gaston?
Yeah, Gaston.
I don't think Jafar has ever done a push-up.
No push-up for that guy. But he challenges him to a push-up competition and gets schooled by Gaston.
Gaston.
He looks like he's struggling. Perhaps he needs a hand.
It's one of the best things on the internet.
The prime years of being a stay-at-home dad, I watched this a lot.
I've seen it probably about 70 times.
Sounds about like right for me. The pre-production for Beauty and the Beast was actually started in the 30s. So right after Snow White, Walt picked it as one of the stories that he wanted to do, but it was complicated to adapt. And so they put it on the shelf, and then they picked it back up in the 50s. But John Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast had just been released, and it was really popular. It is super creepy.
The premise itself is a little weird.
Yeah, well, imagine that done by an Art Nouveau French director. You walk down this hall, and the torches down this hall are held by human arms. If that's what you're into.
The red balloon.
How great was Angela Lansbury, though? Holy mackerel. Like every time she started singing, it's like, oh, it's Murder, She Wrote. Yay!
Although I'm still wondering how Chip was her kid.
Yeah, there's some age
that one
discrepancies that were like very...
Yeah, it's a little fuzzy there. My roommate at the Disney College program, that was like his signature move, was singing Tale as Old as Time as Angela Lansbury. It was epic and awesome. And so like he was requested to do it whenever we hung out.
Wilhelm screamed during the castle fight.
Oh, is there nice?
There was?
Just after they initially breached the door and just when they start the attack, there's a Wilhelm scream in there.
Then you have the Stockholm Syndrome. This movie elevated that into the zeitgeist. Nobody would know what that was if it wasn't for people complaining about it.
Now, so did you see the skull in Gaston's eyes when he's falling?
It's pretty creepy.
Yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
like
No ukuleles.
no ukuleles in this at all.
I would suggest just about anybody watch it. It's if you're in the mood for
it's a pretty standard Disney film.
Part of it was, the years I spent watching it with the kids. It absolutely takes me back.
I've got that plus the semester at Disney, and it was really crucially placed when I was doing the Disney College program. The sweep up of the Disney Renaissance was poised and it was about to pounce, and it made being there like I was in the right place at the right time for sure.
Here's a tale as old as time. I give Beauty and the Beast 4 ukuleles.
It is real solid. I think that between my time working for Disney and watching it 10,000 times because I've got kids, I gave it a 4.
I'll just give it a 3. It's not my favorite out of the umpteen different princess movies that I've had to watch. It was all right.
It's over!